Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of Algebra Honors. Good to have you here today. Today in class we're going to go through these exercises 1 through 16, and I hope you can have your calculator available for corroboration of what we do graphically. So we're going to proceed from solving graphically like we did yesterday to solving algebraically. And I'm probably during this, there are 16 problems total. I think you should have time to do all of them in class today. I probably won't do all of them up here, so there should be during class a lot of time for independent working. Just for remembrance of what's going on here, we have two. What is the way we talked about solving yesterday? You remember how we did that? What we did is we considered two sides of the equation separately. Remember that? And so if we say, in the case of problem 1, if we say f of x equals absolute value of quantity x minus 3 plus 2, and then we have, I'm going to change color code, we'll say g of x is equal to 5. We can graph these two functions simultaneously and find where the intersection points, if any, are, right? And so right now, for this red one, what would we see as a vertex for this?
32.
Vertex, I appreciate Ziggy and Marcus. So 3, 2 is what you'd say, right? So that's going to be, these are counting by 2s. How are the graphics on your papers? Do you have, are you able to see pretty well on your paper what they are?
Pretty well.
No, not very well. Yeah, the copying, they don't come through sometimes very well, and so that's part of the reason you want to perhaps have use of your calculator too, right? To just corroborate. But you can see up here fine, right? And what is our slope going here?
1.
Slope is 1. So it looks like we're going by 2, so up 1 over 1. So kind of like a 45-degree angle, something like this. Is that right?
Something like that.
And then we have our other direction is going to be like this, right? No, like this. There we go, it's like this. So something like this. And then g of x equals 5.
Yeah.
That's going to be like right halfway between these two marks here. Something like that. Yeah, I have a hard time seeing exactly where it is just because of I'm not 100% sure. So we're gonna check verify graphically with the calculator. But it looks like about right here. I don't know, what would you call these solutions here?
6.
So 6.
6, 5.
So 6. X equals 6. And what else?
0.
0 maybe?
Yeah.
0, 6. Let's test it here. If we plug in 0 minus 3, that's negative 3. But absolute value does what to negative 3?
Turns to positive.
Turns to positive. So you have 3 plus 2 equals 5. That checks, right? And if we plug in 6, we have 6 minus 3, which is 3. So these are good answers, right?
Yep.
But you see how it's like, it looks like that's 0, looks like that's about 6, but maybe a little over. What happened is probably the line I drew should have been more like this, okay, which would make a difference. So that's why it's important to possibly check with your calculator and sort of see where you are on that. test your answers. So I want you to go ahead and work out number 2, kind of as an independent working project.
All right.
Are you following along here, Braden, okay on this, since you missed class yesterday? Did you watch the video of class yesterday? You did? Great. Well, then you saw everything. Beautiful. Good work. And it was actually of this class, wasn't it? Yeah.
I didn't see it. I just saw the test one.
Yeah, and then the test video went out too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good job, Brandon.
Okay, does anybody have answers for number 2 yet?
Not really.
No.
One.
1, so x equals 1 is an answer. I think that's right. Any other answers you see here? One and -5. So let's test these out. If we test -5, what's -5 plus 4? -4, right? And that turns that positive. So we have, yeah, so -4, that's -4 becomes positive. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 5 is not 9. So -5 does not work, does it? Let's try 1. If we try 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, right? 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. So 1 definitely checks out. What was our other solution here? Okay, Rindy says -3. Hesitatingly, she says that. Let's check it out. If we take -3 plus 1, That's gonna be what, -2? And absolute value of -2 is?
2.
2. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 5 is 9. So it looks like -3 is a check too. Okay, did you have trouble, and did you have trouble graphing it and seeing it graphically? Was that what a problem was for this?
No, I got the right answer.
You got the right answer? You just didn't want to say early? Okay.
I stared at you wrong and then.
All right, yeah. Well, I want to encourage you not to be afraid to be wrong. Okay, don't be afraid to be wrong. So we have, is it -1, 5? Is that our vertex?
Yes.
-1, 5, right? And then we have our slope of 2 over 1, so we can go up like 2. So the slope would be something like this.
Yeah.
And then the other way would be like 1, 2, something like this. And then at 9 would be right here. Yeah, so that looks like it's about 1, about -3, so that checks out. Okay? Are we okay with this?
Yes.
All right.
I know that.
I'm fine with everything we do.
Did anybody graph this in a calculator to check?
I did not.
You did? You didn't? You did?
Yes.
You did?
It looks like.
Yeah.
Did you really?
And now, so now we have 3, and so for number 3, if we subtract 4, what do we get?
-2.
-2. Well, we're going to graph the whole thing. We would. That's solving algebraic. I'm kind of working ahead, so let's just do this first thing here. So we have our vertex is what?
-5, 4.
So we have -5, 4. So -5, 4. So -5, 4, someplace like this. And what is our slope going to be? -2. So it'd be down 2, Marcus, over 1. Is that about right?
Yes.
So something like this. Okay, down 2 over 1. And that would be down 2 over 1 like this. And then we're going at 2 is our, so here's y equals 2, or yeah, y equals 2. And so here's this one here. So what are our solutions here?
X. -6, -4. Oh,
I'm looking at -6, -4 maybe.
Yep.
And then that's obviously question mark. Is that the case? I don't know. Let's see. If we put in -6, we're going to get,
30.
30?
if we put in -6, -6 plus 5, what is that, -1?
Yeah.
And -1 made positive is -2 times 1 is -2 plus 4 is 2. That checks out. If we put -4 in here, we also get 1, so that checks out. So these are good, right?
Yeah.
So on this one here, it ends up being the same as 3/2 outside. So go ahead and do that one. You got a 3 over 2 thing going here. It shouldn't be so bad. 2, 3, I think your vertex is about right there. All right, Atlee, what are you thinking on this one?
So I graphed it first.
Uh-huh.
I don't really know. I think it's no solution.
Think it's no solution? You
got
got
Atlee?
no solution? Did you get no solution?
Yeah.
Why is it no solution?
Because the g of x doesn't
Touch it.
hit
That's
the
what
f of
it
x.
is,
Yeah. So what's happening,
Two.
what's happening is we know that here's our vertex, right?
Yeah.
And so we know that we're 3/2. We know we're like this. But here's our g of x right here.
Yeah.
No solution. And I want to tell you something.
So you would know before you even did everything, right? 'Cause it's, the vertex is 2, 3, and it's positive.
Yeah, that's right. And here's another thing, and we're going to move into these exercises algebraically too, is I knew it even before I graphed, because what if I subtract 3 over here? What do I get on the right side? -1, right? And can an absolute value of anything be negative? No. And so I kind of knew from looking at the equation up here, that would be it, but that's just from experience. Okay? And here, I want to show you this, how I'd say this. No hay solución. No hay solución. No hay solución. It's really, this is one where Spanish is really good. No hay solución. There is no hay. That's a word for Spanish.
Oh, that's Spanish?
Yeah, no hay solución. Anybody speak Spanish here?
No.
No?
We're in Spanish class.
I'm a
No hay solución. It just sounds pretty good in Spanish.
Can I just say hey?
It's I, Spanish. So
Oh.
talk to your Spanish, who has Spanish? Who,
Calcina?
you have Calcina?
Yeah.
Talk to her, talk about, tell her that we had a math problem today and the answer was no hay solución.
Okay.
See
Well,
what
I
she
have a
says.
first period, but I'll tell her tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, that means I.
No más va a entrar en el cuarto.
Hey, I can't, no. I can't.
Does this make sense to you, no hay solución? It makes sense to Jose.
What is I?
What does I means is, right, or is?
I don't.
There is no I.
What is?
That's proper Spanish, isn't it?
What?
How do you
No
spell
hay
no?
solución?
No I, no I
No, the
solución.
same thing in Spanish as it.
Yes.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, no.
Or in French it would be il n'y a pas de solution.
Huh?
Il n'y a pas de
It's not the
solution.
same, though.
Literally, that's what our teacher
It's not
said.
the same?
It is the
It
same.
is the same?
Okay,
It's the same.
It's not different. Look at the difference.
No.
Yes,
No.
what is it in
No.
Spanish then?
And then,
okay,
With a capital O.
good. Okay, here we are algebraically.
No.
So basically what you're doing is,
I gotta go take a pee.
do you remember from yesterday how we would do these algebraically? How many equations are we going to get out of this?
2.
We'll get 2, right? What are the 2 equations?
It's probably
2x equals 3 and what? And 2x equals
-3.
-3 equals -3. Okay? And then we solve. So x is equal to
3/2.
x is equal to 3/2 and x is equal to -3/2. And then we can mark our
Yeah.
solutions like, isn't that right here?
Yeah.
-3/2 and then +3/2.
Yeah.
Yep.
And more Spanish for you today. 3/2. 3/2. 3/2 Spanish. Sobre.
So gray is over.
Over. See, you learned Spanish. See the multi-curricular approach.
Go Atlee.
Yeah.
No, Natalie.
Thank you. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Let's do crossword puzzles for students.
My thing?
Okay, and then you're doing number 6, right?
Right.
Y'all.
You wanna do it for us? They do.
Set the meat with you.
That's what I was like. You don't know how to do it.
Just eat it on it.
That's over.
I thought I broke 6. 7. What you get, Mark?
Huh?
So what you get?
Negative 1/3 and
Negative 1/3?
yeah.
Yeah.
I got -3 and -21.
That's what I got. That's what I got.
Okay, Atlee says -3 and -21.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put x equals -21, comma -3, and we'll just check that out, see if they work. You can actually plug those in and see if they work, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So if we, let's do that. If we take, what's -21 divided by 3?
7.
7, right? -7. And -7 plus 4 is
-3.
-3, and absolute value of -3 is 3.
Yep.
Check.
Check.
And if we do, if we take -3, well, what's -3 divided by 3?
-1.
And -1 plus 4 is 3. Check.
Ooh, that leaves smart.
At least smart, bro.
So, anyway, I want to go ahead and, Atlee, appreciate your contribution today. But I'm just going to go ahead and put this out, and Atlee, correct me if I'm wrong. So this was one of your equations, right?
Right.
Yep. And then the other one was -3.
So 1/3 x plus 4 equals -3, was that right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we subtract 1, so we get 1/3 x equals -1, and then multiply by 3, right?
Oh.
And so x is equal to -3. And then this one here, you're going to subtract, you get 1/3 x is equal to -7, is that right? And then multiply that by 3, and then you get x equals -21.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yep.
Okay,
That's
good.
what I got.
Yep.
Okay. So here are the solutions, -3, and up here, -22.
22.
22.
21.
How do you say negative?
Oh, 21. I'm saying it wrong.
How do you say negative?
Thank you for correcting. Negativo.
Negative. What?
Negativo, all right. All right, that's it, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Good work.
I don't know. It's no grammar. Is literally everything O? It's like,
No, Cheyenne. No, it's not.
Okay. And,
I really like you right now.
I said, you Cheyenne's don't like me.
yeah, well, that's,
Did you say yep?
right.
Allie,
So here,
Allie doesn't like me.
here, 8, if we have -8, times quantity -6, 6, plus 10,
Forgot 7.
so we subtract 10,
Yeah.
so we get -8.
Negative.
Well, anyway, we get -8 here, right? And then divide by -8,
No.
1.
we get 1. So we get negative x minus 6 equals 1. So we get two equations out of this. Negative x minus 6 is equal to 1, and
Negative.
negative x minus 6 is equal to negative 1.
Yeah.
And then we get like plus 6. So we get, is that 7? Negative x equals 7. So x equals negative 7, is that right?
Negative x equals negative. Oh, you already did that, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you'd multiply this by negative 1, right? And get with that, okay. Then this one here you'd have, isn't that 5?
Yeah.
Yep.
So negative x is equal to 5. So x is equal to negative 5.
Mm-hmm.
Does that look right?
Mm-hmm.
So we get negative 5. That's negative 5 there. I have trouble reading my own number line. So there's negative 5 and negative 7. Okay. And then, any questions about that so far? No. Kendall, how are you doing on these? You doing pretty well on these?
Still kingdom.
Okay, good
Good
job.
job, Kendall.
How about you, Jose?
What's
You good?
that?
Wait down.
Did you do number 7 already?
No,
Yeah.
you skipped it.
No, I'm asking if you did it. I didn't do it.
Oh, my bad.
You don't want to
I'm
do
on it
it?
right now.
He doesn't want to do it, that's tough.
Yeah, it's, okay, you subtract 2, so you get like 1. So you get 1 divided by 3. So you'll get 2x minus 3 is equal to 1/3. Is that right?
About.
Yep.
And 2x minus 3 is equal to negative 1/3.
Yeah.
And then you just solve from there. Now, the fractions will get a little bit dicey here
Dicey.
because you got 2x. How many thirds do we have in 3? 9/3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have 2x minus 9/3 equals negative 1/3. And then we add 9/3, so plus 9/3 plus 9/3. We're going to get 2x equals, what is that going to be, 10/3? And then if we divide by 2, we get x is equal to 5/3, right?
Mm-hmm.
How about?
And then for this one here, we subtract
Do that.
or add, thank you for reminding me that, we'll see. So here we'll get 8/3, right?
Yeah.
And divide by 2, we'll get
4.
4/3. Because we'll get x equals 8 divided by 6, which equals 4/3, right?
Yep.
So that would be number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just some fractions, that's all that is, fractions. Are fractions easy?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Some people don't like them, okay? It's sort of a mixed, but part of the reason that you guys are in Algebra 2 honors is because you're not as allergic to fractions as the other people taking regular Algebra 2, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is. I mean,
I get
but
it.
even more advanced mathematicians sometimes will try to avoid fractions a little bit. That's okay. This one here, isolate the absolute value expression to determine if they can be solved. If so, find and graph the solution. If not, write no solution. And so for this one here, if we subtract 7, what do we get? We get 1/4 x plus 2 equals -2. And then if we multiply by 4, to cancel out that 1/4, we get x plus 2 equals, is it -8?
Yes.
How many solutions do we have here?
No.
We don't have any solutions, guys. No solutions.
Oh, we can't have it.
Yeah, because you can't, this will never be negative. And really, if you graph, if you were to graph this thing, picture graphically, you'd have x plus 2, so you'd have this looking thing here, right? And then you'd have this line down here.
Yeah.
Okay, do not intersect. No solution. Or in Spanish, no hay solución.
No hay solution. No hay.
No, hey, solution.
I still don't know what to do. I hate it when you say something and you use wrong.
No solution.
Me?
Yes.
And this one here, are you going to have a solution here?
No.
No.
No, because you're going to subtract 3,
No, hey, solution.
so you'll get -3. I don't know what I'm doing here. So you get -3, you get x minus 3 equals 3, and you divide by -3. So you get -1 on the right here.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to be a solution?
No.
Mm-hmm.
No hay solución.
No place.
No, hey, solution. Is that funny?
And then we have these.
What is that?
One thing you could do with this one here is you can
Ooh.
distribute here.
Mm-hmm.
So what you have is you have 2 x plus 4, and then what is this going to be over here? Plus 6 equals 6.
Yeah.
Would it not be 8? 2 times, I thought we were distributing. 2x and then 2x.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yep.
Okay,
Is that not right?
no, what happens is that you're taking this 2 here, and the 2 is multiplied by this whole thing in here, right? So the 2 distributes to this here and becomes this, and the 2 distributes to this 3 and becomes 6.
Okay.
Okay, so it's just kind of an understanding of what's going on.
Like a cut.
And so you get 2 equals 0. So how many solutions do we have here? 1, and our answer is x equals, it should be -4,
Yep.
because you divide by 2, right? And so you get absolute value of x plus 4 equals 0, which is x plus 4 equals 0. So that's x equals -4.
Did you have a question?
Yes?
Don't you distribute to get rid of 2? Why do you keep it?
He puts it like on the other side of the parentheses. Not
So you're talking about Haley getting from here to here?
Yeah. Why do we keep the 2 if we just distribute it?
You like it too.
Well, the reason is
We like having two.
the reason is this whole thing right here that I'm enclosing in dotted lines is a total expression. So you're multiplying not by this and this, you're multiplying by this whole absolute value of x plus 4. So you just keep the 2 on the outside of it. And then, so that's the best way I can explain it.
Go ahead.
But the 2 distributes to this 3 definitely, and
Go ahead.
becomes this 6. Okay, does that answer your question a little bit?
Yep.
Okay, no, but these are little fineries of algebra. Let's see here. I want to get to solve the absolute value equations. Yeah, so just go through, solve as many of these as you can, and we'll call that our day's work. How's that? And you can just turn in your work. You feel like you learned something today?
Yeah.
Got some exercise. And I realize that maybe not all of you will finish this today, and I'm not concerned about that. How's that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Does anybody want me to quickly go over one more of these, though?
Or 12.
12? Okay.
I told him, go with 15.
It's like,
Huh?
So 12, so I'm just going to, oops, I have my dotted line version here, okay?
like that.
So what I'm going to do is add 3 to both sides up here, right?
Negative. Just one. Negative.
And so we end up with 5 times absolute value of quantity 2x plus 4 is equal to 0.
Yeah.
And we divide by 5. 0 divided by 5 is still 0. So we can rewrite this as absolute value of 2x plus 4 is equal to 0.
I did wrong.
Does that look right? And then, because we have a 0 there, we just have one equation to work with, right? Equals 0, and subtract 4, we get 2x is equal to negative 4, and then x is equal to negative 2. And then we can try it in here again to see if that works out. Well, what's negative 2 times 2?
Negative 4.
Negative 4 plus 4 is 0. 5 times 0 is 0. And we're just left with negative 3 equals negative 3. Check.
W.
It's a dub.
Did that help you a little bit, Braden? Okay.
What rating?
What about number 15?
What about number 14?
Yeah, 14.
No, 14 is easy.
How's it number 15?
Let's go to
15,
15.
bro.
Let's go to 15.
You got fractions.
15 is something else. It's a different breed.
15.
15 simple, let's do 14.
It's built
15
different.
simple?
Look at 14.
Look at 15.
14
It's
is,
that
what's wrong with 15?
Real.
Okay, what you do on this one here is you'll add 2, so you'll get 7 equals 7, divide by 7. So you get this bracket there equals 1.
Yeah.
And then you'd set this equal to 1 and also equal to negative 1 and solve that one. So the fractions get a little dicey. This one here,
No, this one.
you get minus 2.
Minus 2.
So we get 2 times x plus 5 minus 3 equals 4. And then we have distributing, we have 2x plus 10, right?
Yeah. Minus 3.
Minus 3 is equal to 4. And then we have 2x plus 7. Does that look right?
Yes.
Equals 4. So then you just have 2x plus 7 equals 4. And then also what?
2x plus 7 equals negative 4.
And you solve these equations. You'll get fractional answers, but like you'll get,
Like,
right, so 2x equals negative 11. So x equals negative 11 halves.
why negative?
And then here's 7. So you get 2x is equal to negative 3. So x is equal to negative 3 over 2. Is that right? So it shouldn't be too bad.
No, that's good.